Hello and welcome to an in-depth weather video. If you like this video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss another in-depth weather video. Now let's go in-depth. Here we are, National Weather Service page, radar. We have some thunderstorm action going on in the central part of the country, as well as some showers in the northeast, some also in the tropical areas down south. So we do have some thunderstorm development here, more thunderstorm development when you're watching this today, probably in the area right over here, probably the best area for development. But that's just a quick update on that. Let's go to Tropical Storm Cristobal. Here it is, 50-mile-an-hour winds, sustained pressure of 996 millibars, and moving south at 1 mile an hour, so very slow. Here is the current GOES satellite imagery of Cristobal. As you can see, very defined area. You can definitely see the spin in there, and it's looking like it's going to make landfall on the Bay of Campeche, or Campeche. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but right here, it's this bay. I think it's Campeche. But now let's go to the GFS. As you can see, tracking this low here, that's Cristobal. Makes landfall, weakens, turns around, and it's showing a wider turn here than what the National Weather Service shows, which I'll show the cone in a minute. And then it kind of takes a loop around, then makes landfall in Louisiana, and just kind of stalls out a little bit. Now, I do want to go to the total accumulated precip. As you can see, most of the actual rain is going to be the right side of the storm. It's going to make landfall here. Left side, basically nothing. So that's why the cone does not show where the impacts will be. So if you live on the west coast of Florida, the southern coast of Alabama, Mississippi, basically the entire southern part of Louisiana, and even into southeastern Texas, be cautious. The major threat from this storm will be flash flooding. At the moment, we could see some storm surge if the winds are strong enough. It will be going over pretty much the entirety of the length of the Gulf of Mexico, so it could pick up a little bit more speed in the sustained winds. Now, back to the National Hurricane Center. We're going to go to the forecast cone. As you can see, showing a much sharper turn in the actual storm. The GFS is showing it coming out in the Yucatan, crossing back over and coming up this way. Now, that is not shown here in the cone. So we are going to look at weather.us in a second. But right now it's showing that it's going to make landfall between the Mobile, Alabama area and the Houston, Texas area. So anywhere along this stretch of coast will get hit with the center of the storm. And again, if you live western Florida, through Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, be prepared, because there will be heavy amounts of rainfall. Now, to weather.us. Now, this is going to be very slow, and there's no other option for me to do that other than let's just do this. Here, this is all Eastern time, so 6 a.m. Eastern time. It's making landfall. Then 12 p.m. still right over there, the central part. Then we have 6 p.m. still there, just heavy. I'm thinking that flooding is going to be it's going to be the major part of the storm. It just stalls out. Now we're going to start to see it exit and regain some strength. we are. Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Just more rainfall. Just right in this area. Just gonna get hammered with some rainfall. Here we go. We can start to see that defined low again. Here we go. Right there. This is Friday at 6 p.m. Oh yeah, just a slow exit from this area. Then it'll start to make its way north. Here it comes, barreling up the Gulf of Mexico. I'm just gonna go one day at a time now. As you can see, there it is. And then on Sunday, I'm gonna go at 7 a.m. here. Starting to see it close in on the Gulf Coast. As you can see, this is actually showing outer rain bands very far out from the center of the storm. So this is going to be a very widespread area. And let's continue to... So this is also showing it making landfall near New Orleans and Louisiana. But impacts are going to be felt from Florida to Texas. And then it'll eventually move inland. After it kind of stalls out here, both models are showing that this will stall out along the Gulf Coast, delivering a punch of rainfall here, and then it starts moving inland. Now, we're kind of pretty far out, so the direction in which it'll move once it makes landfall and starts moving inland is kind of iffy, but we'll get more information as the models keep running along. Every model run will get more information. We'll get closer to the time of landfall, but right now it is looking very likely that Tropical Storm Cristobal will be making landfall in the Gulf Coast, specifically the Louisiana area. And if you live on the Gulf Coast, just make sure to be prepared. Flooding right now looks like the major concern. Storm surge, higher winds, not out of the question. As always, you can get tornadoes. If you want more information, I'll put a card up here to my deep dive tropical cyclones if you want to learn more about everything tropical cyclones.